Hey guys, I'm Dov, and today I'm back with more Total War Warhammer 2 multiplayer action. We're here today, myself, with the Dark Elves, going to be facing off against Samurai Warriors Lizardmen. He's an Italian content creator, for those of you guys who don't know him. Definitely a great dude overall, so yeah, we're going to be having some fun games today. I've got a Beastmaster, High Beastmaster leading the way, Chill of Sontar, some Dread Spears, a Sorceress Lore of Beasts, plus the Siren of the Red Ruin, with 3 Dark Riders and Repeater Crossbows. Up against me, you can see already something that I failed to spot at the very beginning of the match. We've got a Hyslon here throwing an Overcast Tempest, and I'm also going to be getting pelted by a whole bunch of javelins. We've got Chameleon, Skinks, Double Solar Engine, and a Feral Stegodon as well. Some Crocscourge, Legion of Chocolates. So pretty good stuff. You can see my Beastmaster getting absolutely shredded right at the start here. A really bad situation for me. I'm going to go ahead and summon some more beasts, though, and try and get things going. Dark Riders with Repeater Crossbows are going to be pretty important, so I need to try and keep them free here. We kind of bait these Crocsgores in, charge with the Siren of the Red Ruin, and then also follow up with some spears as well. So we should be able to do pretty decently in that engagement. Likewise, the Slans hung himself out front here in a really dangerous position. So the Chill of Sontar here and the Feral Manticore are going to drop down and start to do some good damage initially there. But of course, the Slan with the Shield of the Old Ones and that self-healing from High Magic, he'll be just fine. My Beastmaster is trying to fly in to give this Chill of Sontar the lash, putting it up to 660 weapon strength, a bit of extra charge bonus and charge speed. Not that that helps, you know, once it's already engaged, but the weapon strength component's really what I'm looking for there. And see if I can't pop any last buffs. I mean, he's a goner anyway, so as soon as I pop that standard die, or stand your ground rather, he routs, which is just amazing. But this is the way to use Dark Rider Repeater Crossbows. I've talked a little bit about this before, but they're really more like mounted skirmish infantry, and what I mean by that is they're basically like dark shards that can reposition very quickly. So gonna summon up another Manticore here, but right now we're doing a ton of great damage to that Feral Stegodon. Unfortunately, the first summoned Feral Manticore's gone, getting taken down by those Temple Guards. Some Dark Riders I had coming up and around the back, trying to get in and interrupt those Solar Engines, keep them from firing. Would have been nice to do that a little bit earlier to save my Beastmaster, but he's very dead now, so it doesn't matter. Siren of the Red Ruin taking a ton of Overwatch fire from Chameleon Skinks is not the best for me, but we're going to get these Dread Spears back from out and kind of throw them back there. You can see the Legion of Chocolate also getting in and getting on my Dark Riders. Bit of a mismicro on my part, as I'm trying to saturate those Crocsgores with crossbow bolts. Chill of Sontar coming in here. Thankfully, the Chill has a good amount of regeneration, can kind of act as an anchor piece to this army, since we lost our Lord already. And likewise, it's going to be very important for me to keep my Sorceress alive and healthy in order to support leadership. So Murderous Prowess now going off map-wide. We're going to get a nice little damage spike here, and you can see exactly what I'm talking about. I'm using these Dark Riders very much like you would, you know, Missile Infantry, in a back line, you know, protected by spears and everything. It's just that they can reposition very quickly, get to where they need to, and then unleash their volleys. Like, I guess in this matchup, because you don't face enemy skirmish cav, like proper skirmish cav especially, something like, you know, like Pistoliers or Wolf Rider Archers, very good counter for Repeater Crossbows. But of course, Lizardmen don't really have any units in that class. Pterodon Riders are kind of like that, but not exactly, and they really don't have enough DPS without dropping their rocks. But here in the center, Slan's holding out quite well, all things considered, and it actually has some animations. I don't know if I've highlighted this yet, but oh, here we go. You can see as it gets the healing proc, this Hydra actually gets its heads twisted up there, and the Slan using its magic to actually catapult this thing around the field here. One of my favorite matched combat animations in the game. Oh man, danger close from the Slan there. Oh, is he going to do it again? Here we go again. He literally tangles up the Hydra heads, swings it all around through the air, and drops it on the ground. Kind of a hilarious animation, to be honest, and it does deposit the Hydra a little bit far away from him. But the Chill's not chill about this whatsoever. He's not doing great in terms of his leadership, and I'm also friendly firing him quite a bit with these Repeater Crossbows here as I'm trying to finish off the Slan Mage. He does give himself some Hand of Glory here to give himself a little bit of extra melee attack, up to 48 melee attack, actually making decent contact against the Chill there with only 60 armor, and a nice banishment as well, kind of forcing my Dark Riders to move. But I mean, we still got Dread Spears saturated in here. We still got my Supreme Sorceress Lore of Beasts, and you see this as well. Somehow the Siren of the Red Ruin, after I pulled her back, kind of defended her with the Dark Riders there. She's been able to sit up on this hilltop and use up the majority of her ammo shooting at, you know, whatever targets, and generated quite a bit of value. 79 kills there, so pretty good stuff, all things considered. I'm also using my Dark Riders in melee to kind of support these Dread Spears, try and catch up some of these Chameleon Skinks and kill them in melee, especially while Murderous Prowess is active. Now that it's worn off, it won't be quite as effective, but it's going to be a very, very close game into the late stages here. You can see Dark Riders shattering some Skink cohort out in the distance there. The repeater crossbows are going to be the carry here, as they often are in this matchup. I've not really been using them that much in the past, just because I tend to use them wrong. Like, you know, I would use them like I would use normal skirmish cav, and that's not how you use them. They're very much, like I said, like mounted missile infantry. For those of you guys who have played the Total War Empire, Total War Empire, that's the one that's set in like the 1700s, you'll know there's a unit in that game, the Dragoons. They're actually mounted. They're literally mounted missile infantry in that they can't use their guns from horseback. You actually have to dismount them before they can fire. But basically, just like this, they're like missile infantry that can reposition quickly, except this time with the Dark Riders, you don't have that extra step of actually having to dismount them before they can shoot. They just have to be stationary. But kind of a similar idea, right? They're almost like Dragoons in that way. So for those of you guys who have played that classic Total War game, you'll know what I'm talking about. If not, well, maybe you should check it out. It's pretty janky, but it's still pretty fun. You can see here the Dark Riders, the Dark Dragoons, if you will, pouring in the last of their shots here, actually able to shatter those Chameleon Skinks in melee. We've got some Dread Spears over here fighting some more Chameleon Skinks. A last few Temple Guard and Legion of Chakwa returning. You can see the Siren of the Red Ruin also gets broken off there. I've been very lucky getting healing procs on the Hydra, and it's managed to hold its leadership together. To be honest, this is why you bring the Chill of Sontar, almost purely for the extra leadership, even though it does apparently get slammed by a Slann, which is just hilarious. It does get another healing proc there. It's pretty much at its healing cap at this point. But yeah, the solar engines are just about out of ammo, but we come in for the final killing blow. Chill of Sontar able to finally finish off this Slann, potentially. The Sorceress actually gets blasted here, shatters, but at the same time, the Slann gets taken out by the Chill of Sontar, and with that, the balance power finally moves pretty decisively in my favor. We're able to break this solar engine here with the very last of my ammunition from these repeater crossbows, like literally the last few volleys. Man, you really can't get closer games than this, to be honest, but, well, you can. I've seen a handful, but that was still very, very close. Very well played to Samurai Warrior. Absolute scrap into the late game there. And I have to say, the Beastmaster was an absolute waste, but the Chill of Sontar was a carry. And likewise, the repeater crossbows, although they didn't get a lot of kills, they carried pretty hard as well. Basically, between the three of them, took out the 3 Croc scores, took out the Feral Stegodon very quickly, and able to do a lot of damage to the Temple Guard as well, and even the Slann, so great stuff. Siren of the Red Ruin, 90 kills at the end of the day, actually ended up being cost-effective, even though I kind of ham-fisted it a little bit early on. We were able to persevere in the late game. And likewise, the Dark Riders, so good for chasing routing units and just cycle charging light units. 76 and 62. I mean, granted, a lot of those are skinks, but still pretty good kill totals considering how cheap they are. 72 on Dread Spears, 61 here. Yeah, High's Beastmaster had a bad day, but the High Slann likewise also eventually, in the end, had a bad day. Maybe just slightly longer and more painful. Solar Engines are a great pick here, though. I love Solar Engines in pretty much every matchup right now. They're just one of the best tools in the Lizardmen's roster, I feel. Likewise, today I had my tournament, the day I'm recording this. For those of you guys who missed it, definitely check it out, the Banner Cup. But we saw a lot of really good use of the Feral Stegodons today in the tournament, so yeah, definitely a very strong pick there. But again, just the overwhelming crossbow fire able to deal with that. Pretty fun stuff. Yeah, it's an interesting matchup, definitely some good back and forth. In hindsight, I absolutely would have brought the Beastmaster just on his chariot instead. Primarily, he's here just to give buffs anyway. I mean, the Manticore's just kind of icing on the cake, right? And since people often expect, you know, powerful flying lords like Malekith or Marathi, the High Slann and ranged combo is something that I have even done myself multiple times in this matchup, so that's something that I honestly should have expected, and as a result, maybe not brought the Beastmaster in the air, just brought him on his chariot mount instead. He even has a missile attack then, he can kind of pick away at a distance, like support this Dark Rider force here, and that would have eased up a little bit more gold potentially to, I don't know, maybe put some chevrons on these dread spears, maybe even grab another melee Dark Rider or something. There's some different things you could do at that point, but it was definitely a very fun battle. Well played, a Samurai Warrior. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you like this sort of content, be sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification button, so every time I upload a new video, you'll be notified. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.